Yeah, what's up? We're back for another
I was born in it.
Kanye West just dropped a song today, and it's titled Wash Us in Blood or With Blood, and it has Travis Scott on it. I'm excited. Can't you tell?
On the same day that I'm supposed to get a Jesus is King vinyl, that I hastily ordered prior to the album's release, assuming that it would be at least decent before it came out, was sorely disappointed. But I figure even Kanye was praying to Jesus based off the 2020 we've all experienced. Maybe God gave him a word, and we're about to hear what he has to say on this new track. I don't know, but I hope it's something intense, special. The best thing about a Kanye West is you don't ever know where he's gonna go with it. So I go into every Kanye release with a completely open mind because I don't know what it's gonna sound like, be like, what he's gonna say. He's just that unpredictable. So we got Kanye West, Wash Us in the Blood, featuring Travis. Like this Kanye. This Kanye sounds a lot more alarming, like he has a warning for people as opposed to a divine message. And I don't know, I gotta go back and listen to it again. But that, like, it kind of sounds almost like siren like. It's reflective of our current society or our world right now. Like the sound of that is really alarming. I could see if there were a music video for this, like it playing by all the tragedy that's happened this past year. And I know he said Ronnie J. I know he said Ronnie J. I'm gonna tell you right now, that flip of that sermon, that the gospel portion in the beginning, that flip right there is incredible. One of the reasons I came back to this One of the reasons I came back to this record was because Kanye sampled it. One of the reasons. And I love, despite how synthetic that alarming feeling, that ominous feeling that I get in the background when this track first starts is, that like sermon flip that he does, mixing it into the track the way he is, adds such energy to it, like raw, authentic energy. It prevents the track from being just so plasticky, because everything that I'm hearing right now is like reminiscent of 2012, 2013, even maybe up to 2014 Kanye West. And that's when I felt a lot of the music that he was making lacked so much of that soul that I got from him back in 03, 04, 05. But being someone who was a big fan of soul music already, and having like one of my favorite rappers back then be Kanye West, who was so heavy into flipping soul music into the actual hip hop records that he would produce, made me so happy. So revisiting records like this, even whatever he's sampling right now, I think that is so incredible, given how, you know, plastic I feel the landscape kind of feels from time to time. If we're talking from a mainstream point of view, like, we got some racial inequality talk kind of sprinkled on there, like some parsley. So I get that this track is like about us, about black folks, about, and now Kanye is essentially saying with this track that we are the ones that need the most protection. So like we are the ones that need to be washed and doused and protected under the blood of Christ. See, that is what I'm saying. I don't feel like this is secular like that. It feels like Kanye feels as if, which I kind of disagree with, he feels as if he's been somewhat vilified for his opinions over the last year or two. And while he definitely has been, you can't assume or say that all that has been from just like this place of nothing. Like people just came out of nowhere and decided to start attacking Ye. In this, I definitely agree that some people have taken a lot of what he said out of context and decided to run with it in their own direction. But unfortunately, Kanye made that easy for them by, you know, speaking as carelessly as he has over the past couple of years about really important subjects. But his delivery on this track is fantastic. I'm not really too crazy about the Travis Scott feature that we just got. I kind of feel like it was a little bit unnecessary. I honestly would have liked Kid Cudi to be on this track and for like him to be humming in the background, that would have added a lot more intensity to this track that feels like a warning is coming down from the skies, like as a message to us or something like that. Because Cudi definitely had that energy on that one track, Leader of the Delinquents. He had that like ominous kind of tribal like call with his humming, with his voice. Yeah, I like this track. Definitely the best thing I think that's come from Ye since, and this is coming from a guy that likes Salah, since, Life of Pablo. I don't know what this means for the future of his next release. I'm definitely much more excited about his next release now after hearing this single, as opposed to the material that we got from Jesus is King that seemed like a very narrow-minded or narrow perspective on, your faith with Christ, lack of justification by divine reasoning that he gave most of the things that he used to do on that album. At least for me, when it comes to this track, though, I get that it is kind of reflective of our society right now, especially black people more specifically, and kind of like, how Kanye might feel the attack on African Americans in this country. He's also donated to George Floyd and his family, which I thought was great. He was protesting out there too. So I know he feels, the energy. I know he feels what's been happening recently, and I know he feels like he has to say something. And maybe his words, maybe he's not, he doesn't feel articulate enough to go onto like this podium or a public platform and say something very, graceful and also impactful. But, with this track, I feel the sentiment and the urge, and he believes in God, so he wants his prayer in this track, I guess, to God is to douse us with his protection while we fight the good fight, I guess. So it's a sentiment that I can understand and get down with. I'm not against it. I understand where he's trying to, where he's coming from. I didn't love the Travis Scott feature. If anything, I thought it was pretty unnecessary. Would have loved to have had Kid Cudi on this track more. I would have liked for this track to be a little bit more, bright. But at the same time, it's a little bit alarming. It's kind of like a warning. I kind of get it, So I'm not against it. I definitely like the track. It's not the greatest Kanye track of all time. And it definitely reminds me of like 2012, 2013 kind of Yeezus era Kanye. But with this track, I get the sentiments. I understand where he's coming from. And I think for the platform that he has, I think, stuff like this is somewhat important. And kind of mixing in how you feel about how you've been treated and how your people have been treated in with conversations that you might have with God. I think that can make for an interesting concept record, but I would love to see him tap into that more as opposed to just saying, I love you, Jesus, bless me with your seed, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I'm rocking with this new Kanye West, Wash Us in the Blood from Kanye and Travis Scott. I like that. Y'all let me know how you felt about it in the comment section down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah, this was nice.